Ahead and call to order. Meeting is being recorded. Okay, good. We will call to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll? Madam Clerk, are you there?
Yes, I am. Councilmember Brightingham,
Here.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Here.
Councilmember Deidre Nguyen, Councilmember Bowie,
Here.
Councilmember Klopfenstein,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Kim Nguyen,
Here.
Mayor Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Deidre Nguyen is absent.
Let me note that I did hear from Councilmember Deidre Tuha when she said she will join us, but that she might be a few minutes late. So we'll listen for her if she pops on. May I please ask Councilmember O'Neill to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, thank you. If you'd all please stand, face the flag. If you're near one, remove your hat, put your hand over your heart, and join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Oral communications. Madam Clerk, do we have anyone there wishing to speak, or have we received comments?
We do have one speaker, and it is Tom Raber. So we'll just give him a minute to come into the council chamber.
Hello, this is Tom Raber. I'm here because of public safety. My dad was an Orange County sheriff from 1960 to the mid 1970s. I too have history with the Orange County sheriff. Back in 1987, I took the PC 832 class, and my instructor was Jack Leahy, and Jack Leahy worked with my dad back in the 60s and 70s. I would like to go ahead and thank three people: George Brennigan, Fat Bowie, and Scott Stiles. Those three tried to start a meeting as we are today. On Saturday, December 19th of 2020, I woke up in the morning and looked across my feed on Facebook. I noticed that Newport Beach joined the lawsuit against Don Barnes. I went ahead and did my post on social media about it. I tagged every council person here and the city hall. And I talked to George Brennigan shortly after that. George advised me that there was a letter sent out on Friday that only had the signature of Steve Jones. On Sunday, December 20th, I again went back to social media to find out why Garden Grove isn't upstepping their stand on this 1,800 inmates, murderers, predators, and pedophiles. And I was told that of the 5 other remaining members, not one of them, which we needed 2 more to do a quorum. On Monday, December 21st, I got a very nice text from George Brennigan saying that they have a quorum, that the meeting was going to be Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020 at noon, which is today. Shortly after that, I did call up the Orange County Sheriff to find out what cities are backing them. I received a call back from the Orange County Sheriff. Of the 34 cities, 27 are on record with briefings to back up Don Barnes. Today, I noticed that Westminster is also on board. I'd like to ask all of the councilmen, especially the 5 ones that did not stand up to make a total of 4 for the quorum. All 7 of you swore to uphold the U.S. Constitution, foreign and domestic. Well, this is domestic. These 1,800 murderers, rapists, and pedophiles are not there in jail as a resort. They're there because they disobeyed the law, was caught and prosecuted. My last thing is prayers to Tony Flores. His mother's not faring well. God bless America. God bless Garden Grove.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any other speakers?
We don't have any further speakers, but we did receive support for joining an amicus brief for Sheriff Don Barnes' challenge to a court order requiring the release of approximately 1,800 inmates from Orange County jails. And the names of those people are David Sukes, Dwayne and Bonnie Knoll, Arlene Nelson, Matt Schlurf, Jay Burns, Michelle Chupp, Lynn Bailey, S.Y. Clevenger, Chris Simpson, and Stacy McClure.
All righty, thank you very much. With that, we will close oral communications. That takes us on to the one and only item for consideration, item 2A, authorization to join an amicus brief supporting Sheriff Don Barnes' challenge to a court order requiring the release of 50% of inmate population due to COVID-19. I'll hand it over to legal counsel.
Mayor, members of the City Council, this is Omar Sandoval, City Attorney. Today, we're coming to you for authorization to join an amicus brief that is being prepared by the City of Newport Beach, supporting Sheriff Don Barnes' challenge to an order requiring the release of approximately 1,800 inmates from Orange County jails. On December 11, 2020, the Orange County Superior Court ordered the County Sheriff Don Barnes to release at least 50% of the inmate population. The order does require that if social distancing requires the release of additional inmates, then the sheriff needs to do that in order to effect appropriate social distancing for the inmates. At this point, the City Council is being asked to authorize participation in an amicus brief in support of the sheriff's challenge to this court order. I'm able to answer any questions that you may have or to expand on the staff report if the council wishes me to do so. That is all I have for now. And again, I can answer any questions you may have.
Colleagues?
Mayor Jones, Councilman Pat Bowie, may I speak before we, well, I would like to make a motion to, approve this.
I'll second it.
Okay, please go ahead, Pat.
Just a brief comment. I really sincerely would like to thank you, Councilman George Brattingham, for your second to my request for the special meeting. And also a big thank to Mayor Steve Jones and my colleagues for joining us in these meetings. And I hope that this measure will be passed. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Mayor Jones, this is Mayor Pro Tem Kim Nguyen.
Go ahead.
I would just like to ask that we amend the motion to read that we agree to join the amicus brief and that we take a position that jail staff should follow COVID protocol.
Okay, thank you. Colleagues? Fat, are you amenable to altering your motion to include that we support COVID protocol?
I think we need to focus on the main issue, which this is the issue about crime, about releasing the releasing the serious inmates, violent crime out onto the street. I think we need to focus on that. I would not like to divert the attention from that focus.
Mr. Mayor?
Mayor Steve Jones, Mayor Pro
Yeah, hold on.
Tem Kim, I just want to state,
Okay, go ahead. George, you're next. No, I mean, Kim, go ahead, and then
that,
George.
is being placed because COVID numbers are increasing and COVID protocols were not being put into place effectively. So while I 100% join the amicus brief, I would like to see, I would support Sheriff Barnes. I just want to make sure that we note that, we do take COVID very seriously and want to make sure that protocols are being put in place and being effectively used by all jail staff. That's the only reason why I wanted the motion to be amended to just have that little statement in there. That doesn't change our position as far as joining the amicus brief.
I would support two separate, that as a two separate things. One to focus only on the appeal. We joined the amicus brief to support him on his appeal. And then if we need to, we could have another one to urge him to consider safety for the prisoners, or protocols.
George, please go ahead.
I'm in agreement with that.
Hold on, please. George, please go ahead.
I just wanted to, bring up, we have scope over joining the amicus brief because these prisoners will be released into all the Orange County communities, including ours. But we really don't have any scope or jurisdiction over the sheriff's department. The sheriff has gone on record on TV, radio, and newspaper saying that all of his deputies are following sheriff protocol. So I don't necessarily think we need to step on his toes, especially when we don't have any jurisdiction over that anyway. So I think we should just stick with the what we're here for and join the amicus brief.
Okay, anybody else?
This is Mayor Pro Tem Kim Nguyen. I would like to ask that we indulge the suggestion by Councilmember Fat Bowie and do two separate items in that case, if that's possible.
But I don't think we would be able to do that tonight, though, because we need to schedule that ahead of time, Kim.
City Attorney, would we be able to make a motion for that?
Members of the City Council, in reviewing the court order, about 80% of the court order deals with the inmate population, but there are provisions of the court order that require the sheriff to impose and maintain a strict policy of face mask wearing by all staff, but any time the staff are within 6 feet of any inmate. And the order also requires the sheriff to basically provide a plan that shows how the sheriff is actually complying and enforcing that provision of the order. So, so the council wants to address a face mask issue or COVID protocols. I think that's within, the context of, the order that's being appealed by the sheriff.
Let me ask a follow-up question, Omar. So what exactly does the Newport Beach amicus brief state then? What does that get into? And does the Newport Beach amicus brief in any way say that, is it going against mask wearing and protocol of COVID protocol?
Yeah, so I have read the draft is not finalized yet, but I have read a draft of the amicus brief, and it only focuses on the release of the inmates. It does not address COVID protocols or face masks or anything like that. It solely identifies the fact that the order is requiring the release of the inmates. It doesn't have any provisions for what happens to the inmates, where they go in the community, whether doesn't consider that whether the inmates are going to have medical access to medical facilities when they're in the community, where they're going to live, where they're going to be released to, and it also focuses on the authority of a court to direct an administrative agency on how the administrative agency must do its work. So the only focus, in really short summary, where the amicus brief only focuses on the release of the inmates and the fact that the court did not address how the inmates are, where they're being released and what kind of protections for the inmates will have in the community, and the protection to the community from the inmates.
So if we are to support the amicus brief, we're not in any way saying that we're challenging COVID protocols like wearing masks.
That's correct.
George?
Mr. Mayor, the amicus brief is going to the appellate court. The only thing, and we can ask counsel, but the only things that are available to go to the appellate court are things that have already been established in the court that's being appealed, the evidence that's already been brought in. By putting conditions of our support to the sheriff, it's really doing nothing, except maybe weakening our stance. So, in my perspective, it's a non-issue because no new evidence can be heard by the appellate court anyway. And by saying we only support him if he does this or if he does that, it kind of weakens our position. So I think we should just proceed with the motion and second and be done with it.
Mayor, this is Mayor Pro Tem. I just want to state that the court order, mentions these protocols being in place because they're currently not, to the proof provided in order to make that court order in place, right? There was proof that certain things weren't being done, hence why people were getting sick. So whether it's part of the motion, the amicus brief state that we're taking a position that jail staff should follow COVID protocols, or to Councilmember Batbui's suggestion we do it separately as a letter, perhaps to Sheriff Barnes, just encouraging him that, he beef up his COVID protocols. I would just want to make sure that, while we are not in support of inmates being released, that we do support COVID protocols being put in place and enhanced to ensure safety of everyone, jail staff and inmates.
Mayor C. Jones, this is Deidre. This too hard, can I?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, everybody. I just joined late from work. I totally in support of this. However, I do agree with Mayor Pro Tem Kim Nguyen. We should need to put in there to follow the guidelines and to support the COVID-19 guidelines as well, because what gets us this far is because people don't follow the guidelines. So we want to make sure that it's been addressed and continue to do so.
This is Councilmember Klopfenstein, if I may.
Yeah, please go ahead, Stephanie.
There was concern originally when we wrote a letter that there wasn't enough teeth to that letter. So here we are today trying to move forward with an amicus brief. Now we're looking to write another letter that maybe doesn't necessarily have or follow the same vein as what we're trying to pass today. And then I question if sending another letter to him about COVID protocol has enough teeth or weight. And I don't want to confuse people as to, I think, what we're trying to accomplish today. So I think it's kind of confusing. I feel like I'm hearing a couple of different things here. The city attorney seems to think that protocol is in place and that what's happening with COVID protocol doesn't affect or isn't in the language of the amicus brief. Is that correct? I just feel like we're having two separate conversations about two separate things, and I just want to make sure that I'm understanding.
Mr. Mayor,
So from what I-
John Neal.
Hold on one sec, John.
This is Omar. Let me just respond to Councilmember Kloppenstein's question. From what I can tell from the order, there was evidence that COVID protocols were in place, but the court in the order specifically says that the judge was not convinced that the sheriff was consistent in enforcing the protocols. In other words, sometimes deputies wore their masks, other times they didn't. And that's the reason why the order included a specific requirement for the sheriff to be strict in the face mask requirement. I hope that answers the question.
Wait, hold on one sec. I got John O'Neill is next.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to say that, I'm kind of in alignment with Councilmember Kloppenstein and Councilman Bright again. I think we need to define, we have a motion and a second on a specific item, and I think we're kind of convoluting it with the other issue with protocols. We're all adhering to a lot of protocols, which we don't make, by the way. That's the state and the county health guidelines. Now, we're all about promoting those, and we will abide by the law on that. So by putting that into our original motion, it, to me, convolutes it a little bit. So I'd rather vote on this original motion and get that out of the way. We can talk, and someone can make a motion after that, but I think we need to go ahead and to vote on this item.
Okay.
As it was motioned.
Yeah. Okay. We have a motion and a second. I'll call the vote.
Councilmember Bright.
I would like to make a substitute motion.
Excuse me.
Okay, hold on one second.
I would make a substitute motion that we join the amicus brief and send a letter to Sheriff Barnes encouraging him to strictly follow COVID protocols.
Okay, is there no second? Okay, substitute motion dies for lack of a second. We'll go back to the original motion.
My vote was yes. We already got that far.
I think Councilmember the other Nguyen was going to chime in.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello.
Hello?
Go ahead, Tuha.
Yes, I was second. I was second to the to Mayor Pro Tem with addition.
Okay. What I kind of heard before was that council wanted to break that out and take it separately. So I'm guessing I know where this is going to go, but okay, we'll take roll call vote on the substitute motion.
Councilmember Brightigam.
No.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Sorry, I was on mute. Not opposed to protocol, but no.
Councilmember Deidre Nguyen.
Yes.
Councilmember Bowie.
Yes. I'm sorry, no. This is amended one. No, I'm sorry.
Councilmember Klopfenstein.
So it's no.
Councilmember Klopfenstein.
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Kim Nguyen.
Yes.
And Mayor Jones.
No.
Motion failed. 5 no votes. with Mayor Pro Tem Kim Nguyen and Councilmember Deidre Nguyen voting yes.
Okay, roll call vote on the original motion.
Councilmember Bridegan,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Yes.
Councilmember Deidre Nguyen,
Yes.
Councilmember Bowie,
Yes.
Councilmember Klopfenstein,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Kim Nguyen,
Yes.
and Mayor Jones.
Yes.
Motion received, 7 yes votes.
All righty, thank you. So we don't have anything else listed or agendized. Where do we go from here if we?
Now, based on the council's decision, I will notify the Newport Beach City Attorney that City of Garden Grove is joining their brief, and we'll just move forward.
All right, thank you. We don't have, on the agenda, we don't even have matters listed. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Mayor Jones, Mayor Pro Tem Kim Nguyen, would I be able to request that I send a letter on my own letterhead to Sheriff Barnes requesting that he follow COVID protocol?
You can do that on your own anyway.
Yeah, this is Omar. I agree with Councilmember Bridegan. Individual council members have the prerogative to send their own individual letters.
Thank you.
All righty, thank you. We don't even have a matters section listed on this special meeting agenda, so we've conducted the business at hand, and with that, we will stand adjourned, everyone. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy holidays.
Same here.
Happy holidays.
Happy holiday, everybody.
I object. If Kim Nguyen would do it, she has to do it as a resident, not as a councilman.